You know, in the huge, incredible world of Hindu mythology, some stories are just so massive they actually shape the landscape itself. And today, we're going to dive into one of the biggest, the epic story of Ganga's descent. We're talking about a celestial river brought down to earth all because of one king's incredible determination and a god's cosmic power.
So, this is the big question at the heart of the whole story. Can one single person, through sheer will, actually bend the will of the gods? I mean, this is a tale all about devotion, incredible cosmic power, and the super delicate balance of the universe. But really, when you get right down to it, it's about the amazing things that can happen when just one person decides to do something everyone else thinks is impossible.
All right, so where do we even begin a story this big? Well, funny enough, it doesn't start with a hero. Nope, it starts with a total catastrophe. We're talking about a curse that traps tens of thousands of souls and kicks off a quest that's going to take generations to resolve. Okay, so here's the quick and dirty backstory. You've got this great king, Sagara, and he's doing this super important royal ritual. But then disaster strikes. His special horse gets stolen. So his 60,000 sons, yeah, 60,000, track it down. And where do they find it? At the home of a sage named Kapila. They immediately jump to conclusions, accuse him of being a thief, and totally wreck his deep meditation. Big mistake. Huge. The consequence is just catastrophic. Kapila, in this flash of pure divine anger, just opens his eyes, and boom, a wave of fire erupts and instantly turns all 60,000 of those princes into nothing but a pile of ash, just like that. And this, right here, is the absolute heart of the problem. See, without the proper funeral rites, which need sacred water, these 60,000 souls are trapped. They can't move on. They can't ascend to heaven. Think about that. An entire generation of a kingdom's heirs just gone, stuck in limbo. So, time passes. Generations of Sagara's family try to fix this spiritual mess, and every single one of them fails. But then comes King Bhagirath. He looks at this impossible situation, he feels the suffering of his ancestors, and he basically says, okay, enough is enough. I'm going to be the one to fix this. So what was his plan? Well, it was an act of penance so extreme, it's hard to even imagine. He gives up his kingdom, his throne, everything. He goes up into the Himalayas, and for what the legends say was thousands of years, he just stood, enduring scorching heat, freezing cold, fasting, and praying with just one single thought in his mind. Convince the celestial river goddess Ganga to come down from the heavens and purify the ashes of his ancestors. That's it. That was his entire world. And here's the crazy part. It actually worked. His unbelievable devotion literally moved the heavens. But, and this is a huge but, the second he succeeded, he created an even bigger problem. A problem that didn't just affect his family, but threatened the entire planet. So the goddess Ganga appears before him, totally impressed by his sheer willpower, and she agrees to come down to earth. But then she hits him with this terrifying reality check. She basically says, look, I'm willing to come down, but have you thought this through? The force of my fall from the heavens, it's so powerful, the earth literally can't handle it. Your world will shatter into pieces. So you see the insane paradox here, right? The one thing that could bring salvation was also a weapon of total planetary destruction. The solution was the apocalypse. So Ganga tells him, there's only one being in the entire cosmos who has the power to absorb an impact like mine, and that's the great god Shiva. So what does Bhagirath do? He starts his penance all over again. Can you imagine? This time, he's praying to Lord Shiva. And Shiva, seeing this king's incredible, selfless devotion to his family, agrees to help. He simply says, I will catch the river. Okay, you have to really imagine this moment. Ganga, full of pride and power, begins her descent. She's not just falling, she is thundering down from the heavens, like a cosmic waterfall. And she's arrogant, right? She fully intends to not only shatter the earth, but to sweep even the great Shiva away in her incredible torrent. But Shiva, he doesn't brace himself. He doesn't create some giant shield or try to meet force with force. No, he just stands there, totally calm, on top of a mountain in the Himalayas. And he just looks up as this planet-shattering power is hurtling right for him. And then, the miracle. As the full crushing force of the entire celestial river comes crashing down, Shiva catches it, effortlessly, in his hair. In his long, matted hair, the whole furious river just vanishes into the locks of his hair, like it's flowing into a massive forest. All of that immense, world-ending power is just absorbed, gone. So the proud goddess Ganga, she gets completely lost in the maze of Shiva's hair. Her pride is shattered, her destructive power is totally neutralized. And that's the beautiful part of the story, right? It shows how Shiva tamed her incredible fury, not with brute strength, but with this kind of calm, infinite capacity to just absorb it all.
So, the great threat is gone. The goddess has been humbled, her power is now under control, which means the original mission can finally be completed. And so, Shiva lets Ganga go, releasing her from just a single lock of his hair. But she's not a cataclysm anymore. What emerges is a gentle, life-giving stream. Bhagiratha then leads this peaceful river all the way across India, right to the spot where his ancestors' ashes lay. And the moment her sacred waters touch them, all 60,000 souls are finally purified and free to ascend to heaven. Mission accomplished.
Now, this is so much more than just an amazing myth. It's really a foundational story, packed with deep cultural and philosophical meaning. So let's break down some of the big lessons from this tale that still ring true today. Okay, so if you're going to take anything away from this, it's these 3 core ideas. First, perseverance, the sheer power of it. One person's unstoppable effort can literally move heaven and earth. Second, balance. Ganga's power was a gift, but it was totally useless, even dangerous, without Shiva's control. It's a huge reminder that great power without wisdom to guide it is just a disaster waiting to happen. And finally, purification. This beautiful idea that redemption and a fresh start are always possible. In fact, Bhagiratha's effort was so legendary, his name actually became part of the language itself. To this day in India, people talk about a Bhagiratha Prayatna, which just means a Bhagiratha-like effort. It's a phrase people use to describe any massive, almost superhuman task that someone takes on with that same kind of heroic, focused determination.
And that really leaves us with a final question to chew on, doesn't it? The story shows us Ganga as this powerful, life-giving force that was also incredibly destructive if it wasn't controlled. And it just makes you wonder, what are the great forces in our world today? Things like technology or ambition or even knowledge itself. They all have that same dual potential, right? They can be a gift or they can be a threat. So the real question is, what's our Shiva? What's the wisdom that we need to find to tame them?